Whenever you're ready.
Okay, how homework affects students' mental health?
Our argument was, how does homework affect students' mental health? Students' mental health is affected by many ways, such as the quality of homework, how much homework is handed out, and the parental involvement. The quality of homework plays a role in how it affects the students' mental health. If students are being handed quote-unquote busy work, then they feel like the homework is not going to help them in the long run, and they're just going to be writing down the answers, and it'll affect their grade, resulting in maybe a bad grade if the students don't feel like the homework is going to help them. And then how much time is spent on the homework will affect the students by, if students go to 8 hours of a school day, and if they're a student athlete, then they go to 2 hours of practice afterwards, and then they have to go home and spend 3+ hours of homework, and it'll get them overwhelmed with high workloads and cause anxiety and depression in the students. Excess homework can lead to emotional exhaustion and negatively impact students' confidence in the classroom. This is by Denise Pope, who is credible because her research comes from Stanford area. The parental pressure can play a role in the students' mental health, because when students are trying their very best to go to school and make good grades and then go home and work on their homework all night long, it can lead, and the parents are constantly pressuring them to do their best when they're already trying their best. It can create the students to have the feeling of failure and being afraid to mess up.
How homework affects students' mental health throughout history. Past homework, present homework, and future homework. Past homework, students' mental health in the past has proven to be more positive when completing homework back then compared to now, where it's seen as more negative regularly in students. Moreover, the mental health of junior high school students has deteriorated within the past 20 years compared to how it used to be. With research done by Leah Hufan, affiliated with the School of Zahn International Studies University, Zikwi Zhang from the Department of Education at Shanzai Normal University, and finally Xinyu Li, who attended the School of Education at Zion International Studies University. Present homework, homework nowadays, throughout our research, was generally causing most students mental health problems. But it can also be a lot easier with the new technology and resources we have now compared to back then. But it also has added to new ways of assigning work within students. Future homework is becoming more diverse between students and their different needs. Various new ways of assigning homework has been shown to make it more attractive and enhance students' well-being when they do it. It meets students' needs, interests, setting tasks that are meaningful and do not demotivate them, which is credited by Nia Nergal, affiliate with the Department of Educational Sciences at the West University of Timisoara, Romania, and Simone Sava, who has a PhD in Educational Sciences and has been a full-time professor since 1997.
The impact on students that we have is depression, anxiety, anger, and self-doubt. Our research shows that the workload being high on students can cause depression, anxiety, and anger, and self-doubt, which students can feel overwhelmed. If students feel like they're underperforming in their class time, it'll lead to more anxiety, and the anxiety and depression levels will increase. If students feel like they're underperforming in the school time, then it also causes self-doubt, and the students will be that they're failing in the classroom, and this will create more anxiety. This can not only affect them emotionally, but it will affect their grades and their performance in the classroom and their overall well-being and their long-term effects. Solution 1, we have that the one way to address the negative mental health impacts of the excessive homework is by providing a stronger mental health system in the schools, such as the stress management workshops. This will help the students learn coping skills for their future, time management skills, and how to prioritize certain skills over the others. When students can understand these skills, it'll help them overall with decreasing the levels of their workload, and it'll also decrease the anxiety and feeling of failure. Academic pressure on students will decrease whenever they feel like they have access to tutoring, or just encourage whenever they are feeling that they are underperforming in the classroom. If students, instead of struggling alone, they will receive the encouragement by teachers or other adults in their school, and this will improve the health and decrease the anxiety levels in the classroom.
implications: improve academic performance, lower anxiety and burnout, and long-term life skills. Providing stress management workshops and homework help centers can improve students' academic performance, help them reduce their anxiety and burnout, and help them improve academically. This could also teach them long-term life skills. According to Ann Richard, Mai Sunjanster, Maria Ramar Stern, and Hannah Hassan, school-based mental health services are an attempt to increase accessibility to mental health services. The effect of these services seem positive with some mixed results. What this means is when students get mental health support, they're more likely to improve academically, like I said, reduce their stress levels, and improve on their grades, making them more healthy emotionally, physically, and mentally. This motivates them to actually get their work done. This is a credible source because it's a peer-reviewed research article based off multiple studies.
Limitations: increased costs, time consuming. To ensure that each student gets the right mental health support, these workshops and help centers will be based on students' interests along with professional educational therapists. These workshop environments must be built and designed by experts, which will cost a lot depending on how many needs to be built and where they're being built. With it costing more to build and set up, it can allow for parents enrolling their students into these workshops and help centers to also pay more of a higher price as well. And this could be time consuming because this would it would take time to build the workshops and helping centers, along with finding all the experts to build it and professionals to instruct classes.
Solution 2. Parents encourage breaks and balance. Students get enough sleep. They're allowed to do social activities, and they encourage breaks during homework. Encouraging breaks and ensuring students get enough sleep supports their mental health and physical health. It also helps them build a strong parent-to-child relationship. According to CDC, parents can help by modeling and encouraging habits that promote good sleep, which leads to improved focus, mood, and academic performance. This means when parents help their child rest, set routines, and encourage breaks, students are healthier and emotionally balanced. This source is reliable because it's based a health guidance from a major national public health agency, and it's a research-based recommendations.
Better relationship with parents. Parents encouraging breaks and balances show the student that they care, which can change the perspective of seeing homework as an enforced task from parents into something less stressful with taking time to rest. Improvement in physical and mental health. These breaks and balances can help students with getting frustrated on doing excessive amounts of homework at a time, which can be very stressful without a break. Improve lifelong skills. Students who were encouraged by parents can cause success in future education. Students can use these same methods when pursuing higher education, such as college, trade.
Our limitations would be limited control, student resistance, and competitive academic culture. If students are in higher classes like AP and honors and they feel like they can't take any time off from their homework and that they constantly need to be studying or doing the homework that they have assigned, this will lead to the students getting overwhelmed, and their brain, if they're focusing on homework for 3+ hours a night, then their brain's going to get distracted and they might be able to think about the wrong answers. So while the parents can encourage the breaks and encourage the time off, some students just feel like it is not in their time zone, that they can't do it. And while the parents can encourage the breaks, they don't control how much homework is being handed out to them that night or how much studying they have to do for that class. It is from the teachers that get the homework, and some teachers have to assign that much homework due to the limited time that they have in the classrooms.
Conclusion. Overall, homework should help students without overwhelming them completely. Students getting support for their mental health through school programs and parental guidance ensures that students succeed academically, emotionally, and physically, and in the future. This proves mental health and academic performance are connected, and one cannot thrive without the other.
All right, so let's look at your questions. Michaela, what's an example of a compelling argument from one of your peers' individual reports that you decided to exclude from the team presentation, and why?
One of the topics that we decided to exclude the most was definitely Ethan's historical lens. We talked about it some in our presentation, but it was only on one slide because we focused more on how it affects the students' mental health in the present and not in like the future or in the past.
All right. Marianne, give one specific way that your thinking changed as a result of learning about Michaela's findings.
She included like extra activities outside of school. Like she included like school clubs, sports, and that really like opened my mind like to like how much students can handle and like how much help and support they need from school and parents.
Okay. Ethan, what is the way in which your team's resolution makes you think differently about your own individual research?
I see that my research is very distant compared to those of Marianne's and Michaela's because mine is more of things that happen during the past and not in the present day, which theirs more shows than mine, so yeah.
Okay, thanks.